Yes, this dream is on the night of August 12th, 1993. And I was working at this time whenever I had these dreams. And this was, let's see, around in between, I think, the time of my youngest son and my eldest daughter. I think this was about the time this was, I had this dream. Anyways, I had a dream about going to a reunion type party with people that I used to work with at this thrift store that I worked at. And everyone was exchanging gifts. I started to open one gift that didn't have a card on it. And I was thin at this time, and I wasn't pregnant. Around, mind you, at this time that this dream was occurring, I actually was pregnant at that time, I think. Let's see, what was it? August 12th, 19... I might have been, maybe. Might have been in between time too, not sure. Anyways, and in the dream, I was thin and everything, and I wasn't pregnant. And my husband and the kids weren't with me at the time. And I believe I had 2 kids at the time. And in the box that I opened up was a baby gift, but it was black and red. I started to get very upset, and then the room changed. There were cobwebs all over, dusty tables, torn drapes, and everyone looked like skeletons and zombies. And I almost fainted and ran to my car. And then I drove and I drove and I drove and I drove, but I just wasn't getting anywhere. I pressed down hard on the gas pedal, and I seemed to go through sort of a time warp. When I stopped, I was in front of the place where the party had been, but then now there was a house next to it, and there was an old lady that came out of the house and asked if she could help me. This lady, I kid you not, was an identical twin to me, except for that she was much older. And I asked her if she knew how to get out of there. She said yes, and started to tell me. And this is the strange part too. Anyway, she started to tell me and everything, and all I could think about at that time as she's telling me this in the dream is how weird. And then as I was looking at her, a mirror image of me as an old lady. And then I woke up. I don't know. This one was really, really odd. The thing that I kind of in a way think this was a warning in a way to me of something was wrong. I remember the date now. This was right before I went, and I was pregnant at the time. Before I went for an ultrasound. And it was my well, not ultrasound, second checkup. You know, where they check the heartbeat and everything when you go. Well, the checkup before, everything was fine and there was a heartbeat and everything. But that checkup, this next checkup I went to after this dream, there was no heartbeat. They couldn't find a heartbeat. And so the lady had called in the doctor, and the doctor was trying to find the heartbeat and still couldn't find the heartbeat. So then they ordered some blood tests, and as soon as they got the results of the blood tests, I don't know, maybe somebody with medical knowledge could understand exactly what this means. Anyways, there's a certain level that you have indicated, I guess, on your hormones or something. And if your level is going up, you're pregnant and your pregnancy is progressing. If your number and level drops, you're not pregnant anymore and you've miscarried the child. If your numbers are the same, like from the previous time, and they're the same and they haven't went up or they haven't went down, the child is not alive, but the child's still inside of you. And this is what happened to me. The child in between my youngest boy and my oldest daughter died inside. I had been sick with a really bad flu before this occurred, and I guess the baby was not strong enough to survive. And this is a bad memory. The baby died inside, so I was told I had to have what was called a D&C, where they have to go in and they have to clean everything out. And when they clean everything out, you start your menses and everything again. And of course, you're supposed to wait like the amount of time like you would like after you have a child before you try having a child again. Basically you have to have a checkup with the doctor before and get the A-OK, and then you can try having a child again. I was told I had to have a D&C, and at this point I was kind of in shock, and I was really having a hard time accepting that the child was not alive and it was still inside. If I had just miscarried it, I mean, it still would have hurt, but it would have been probably easier to handle in a way, because it would have already been gone, and there wasn't much I could do. But at this point in them saying that the child had died inside, and they had to physically go in and clean me out, clean all the tissue and everything out, because if they leave it in there, you can get like infection, septicemia, it's kind of like everything would rot inside there, and all kinds of problems. And yeah, it's just, you just don't want that to happen. But I was told that of course they had to do that and do the D&C, and they made the appointment to do the D&C on my oldest son's birthday. And I asked them, I begged them and pleaded with them, please do it at least one day before or one day after. And they said that was the only day they had available. was on my son's birthday. So every year on my son's birthday, I have joy because of my son's birthday, but yet at the same time, I think of that child that I lost that was taken out that day. And I know that child didn't physically pass on that day, but that's the day they took the child out. And I know when I go on and I'm with Jesus, I will see that child again. That child will be there waiting for me. I actually will have 2 children that will be there to meet me. So if hopefully, God willing, that all my children make it and go to heaven. I believe they will. I won't know 100% until I get there. But if we're all there in heaven together, then they'll get to meet their brother or sister from one, and brother or sister. So a 2 brothers or 2 sisters, or a brother and a sister. I'm not sure, because I never knew if it was a boy or a girl. Either one of them I never knew. So I don't even know. I'm sure that I will recognize. I have no doubt I will recognize my children. But I will see my children again when I pass on. They're waiting there for me. I didn't expect to turn this into somewhat of a testimony, but as I was reading more thorough into the dream and realized the date, I realized what was happening, and it actually was kind of a warning and what was wrong, that there was something wrong. It was symbolism of something being wrong. I just didn't know it yet. So it was a warning to me. So that makes 2 dreams of mine that were definite warnings of things to come. One that happened around that time period, but another one that happened years later. So yeah, I just realized that. So if you have any other input in that, or maybe something else that I'm missing here, you can leave a comment down in the comment section. And or if you shared a similar experience, just know that you're not alone, that things like that have also happened to others of us too. And this happened when I was in my latter 20s, or I should say about mid 20s, I think. So this has been, this has been a long time. Let's see, that would have been, 26, about 25, 26 years ago, something like that. I think, something like that. So over 20 years, since this happened, and it's still there. It's not as shocking and as hurtful as it was when it occurred, but it's still there. You don't it doesn't completely go away, but it makes you get where it's not quite as bad. It's easier to cope with. So it never really completely goes away, or at least I haven't seen anything like that happen. Maybe it does for some people, but it never has for me. I still remember those things, but they don't hurt me as much as they used to. And I do have a rosy outlook on what may yet be to come. So if there's any input or any other things that you can think of, or that you want to say, or that, you can leave it in the comment section down below. And God bless.